So today we have to discuss the grade 9th chapter, constitutional design. So earlier also we have discussed, we defined the constitution, then after that we have seen the policy of apartheid which was implemented in South Africa. Then we have seen that why the apartheid system was oppressive for blacks. Then we have seen the struggle against apartheid, in that we have seen what kind of oppression the blacks were facing in South Africa. And then after that we have seen the formation of African National Congress, we have discussed Nelson Mandela, and then after that we have seen path towards the constitution or path to constitution, that in 1994 they drafted their constitution, and then we have seen what kind of changes were there in the South Africa. Then the South African constitution, it inspired the Democrats throughout the world. So this also we have discussed. Then after that we discuss why do we need a constitution. So in this in journal we discuss what was the need of the constitution, and then we discuss the making of the constitution, okay, the making of the Indian constitution, what problems we faced, and after that the path to our constitution, so whatever problems we faced. And then after that now we are going to discuss the Constituent Assembly. So after, in the making of our Indian constitution, we have seen what kind of problems we face, and now we have to discuss the Constituent Assembly. So the drafting of the document called Constitution was done by the Assembly of Elected Representatives called Constituent Assembly. So the elections were held to this Constituent Assembly in July 1946. And then the first meeting of this Constituent Assembly was done in December 1946. So elections were held in July 1946 and first meeting was held in December 1946. So after the partition, the Constituent Assembly, it again divided into India and Pakistan. And earlier in the Constituent Assembly, 389 members were there, but the assembly which wrote the Indian Constitution consists of 299 members. So finally, then the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November 1949, and finally it came into effect on 26 January 1950, and to mark this day we celebrate every year 26 January as the Republic Day. After this, now the question arises, why do we accept the constitution which was made by this assembly 60 or 17 years earlier? So we accepted this constitution because it is a legitimate document. It is a legal document. It is a very legitimate document which was made by the Constituent Assembly. So the Constitution of India, it reflects not only the views of the members of the Constituent Assembly, but it also expresses the broad consensus of the masses of India. So this we have seen, that it includes the broad consensus, the general consensus of the masses of India. So after that we have seen that in many countries of the world, the constitution was written afresh. In the case of Belgium, we have seen that there was many objections were there to certain social groups and political parties, so they did not accept their constitution. So in 1993 they amended their constitution again, that is Belgium, and they moved from the unitary form of government to the federal form of government. By amendment in the constitution, they have given more powers to the state governments, to their regional governments. And in some countries we have seen the constitution is only a piece of paper. No one actually follows the constitution. But our case is very different. Our case is very different. The social group, some of the social group, they might object, or they have raised objection regarding the provisions of the constitution, but no major group or political party has ever raised any objection regarding the legitimacy of our constitution. So our constitution, our document, our constitution is a legitimate document. Publicly it is accepted, publicly it is recognized document. And then after that, so this is the success of our, this is the achievement of our constitution, that it is a legitimate document, it is according to law, it is legal, and it is accepted by the public, and public recognition is there. Publicly it is widely accepted by the people. Then after that, the Constituent Assembly, it represents the people of India. So we have seen the Constituent Assembly, it represents the people of India. At the time when the Constituent Assembly was formed, at that time universal adult franchise was not there, so the direct elections cannot be conducted for the Constituent Assembly. But the members of the provincial assembly were the members of the constituent assembly only, and the members of this provincial assemblies, they were from the different regions of the India. So automatically in constituent assembly also the different the members, the people from different regions of India was there. So automatically the constituent assembly, it became the members came from the different parts of the India. So in the constituent assembly, we have seen it is mostly dominated by the Indian National Congress, the party which led our freedom struggle. But within the Congress also, the different people, the different leaders, they have different opinion, and many people, the many member within the constituent assembly, they do not agree with the Congress leaders also. But our constituent assembly represented members from different languages, castes, classes, religion, occupation. So our constituent assembly was national in character, as it represented the people from different arenas of life, different languages, castes, classes, religion. So our constituent assembly was national in character. Even if we elected our constituent assembly through universal adult franchise, then also we will not be find too much diversity in our constituent assembly. So the manner in which the constituent assembly worked, it gives sanctity, the purity to our constitution. Our assembly worked in a systematic, open and mutual consent, in consensual manner, in a mutual agreement type. They have worked in this manner. They have worked in an open and in systematic and in a transparent manner. That is, they worked in such a manner, thinking that we have to give such constitution to the country where all the communities and their interests are safeguarded. So in this way they work to accommodate our regional diversity. So debates and discussions were held on the basic principles. So long discussions and debates were done on the basic principle, on the basic structure, federal structure, secular approach, center-state relation and language policy. So in this, the discussion was held, then the draft was prepared by Dr. Ambedkar. Then discussion happened on clause by clause, on section by section, and more than 2,000 amendments were made. The members discussed, deliberated long discussions for 114 days, which was spread over the 3 years. Every document presented and every word spoken in the Constituent Assembly has been recorded and preserved. So these were called the Constituent Assembly debates, and when printed, these debates are 12 bulky volumes. So in this bulky document, it provides the idea behind every provision incorporated in our Constitution. So these are used to interpret the real meaning of the Constitution. That's why the particular provision is added and what is the idea behind this. So this I have given you the brief outlook regarding the working of the Constituent Assembly, how they contributed in framing our Constitution. So the Constituent Assembly, I told you, elections were held in July 1946 and the first meeting was held in December 1946, and finally our constitution came into effect on 26 January 1950. So the Constituent Assembly worked in very systematic, open and in a very journal consensual manner. Like journal agreement they developed, consensus they developed, opinion they formed. So in a very transparent, very systematic, organized and an open way our Constituent Assembly worked throughout the for 114 days, which was spread throughout the 3 years. So Pandit Nehru moved in the Constituent Assembly the historic objective resolution. So this was passed by Pandit Nehru, which was unanimously passed without any opposition. It was passed by all the members of the Constituent Assembly. So it was India's Charter of Freedom. So this objective resolution was basically the India's Charter of Freedom. Then some basic principles were decided and agreed upon, and after passing the resolution, drafting committee chaired by Dr. Ambedkar, they prepared the draft for the Constitution for discussion. Then I have told you clause by clause discussion was held. After the clause by clause discussion, for 114 days, detailed discussion was there on every clause for the 3 years, and then every document which was presented and every word which was spoken in the Constituent Assembly have been recorded and presented, and these were called the Constituent Assembly debates. And then I have told you then that finally on 26 January 1950 the Constitution came into effect, and the Constituent Assembly adopted the Constitution on 26 November 1949.